Over the past 40 years, China has adhered to the policies of reform, opening up its economy and pursuing development. Earlier, we spoke to analyst David Owiro about the country's contributions to the WTO.
Well, it's not really, to say, a big deal for global trade. Essentially, what the white paper states is, giving an update of what China has been able to accomplish in its since its accession to the WTO, and so it sort of just rehashes the main points the main milestones that China has been able to achieve along the way. And so, in terms of being able to communicate the Chinese government's commitment to the WTO, as well as reaffirming the steps that it has taken to ensure that it remains in compliance and that it promotes the WTO rules and laws. Well, China has been essentially putting in place laws and regulations to implement WTO rules, specifically in this case with regards to intellectual property rights or regime, is the TRIPS agreement, which is basically the agreement that ensures that member states play by uniform rules that govern the trading of intellectual property rights. And so for China, this has been very important because where China is situated, its neighbors are mostly engaged in high technology innovations, and so China has put in place mechanisms to implement the WTO rules at the national level. And so this, of course, augurs well because, as you alluded to your question, the issue has always been around infringing on property rights, existing IPR globally, and so by instituting these laws and regulations, they sort of have taken a stand to help the global multilateral trading system to trade within fair rules and for innovations to be promoted and for innovators ultimately to benefit from their innovations and creations. Well, the paper doesn't really address the issue of going forward into a full-out trade war. China has always maintained the need for meeting the United States in the middle, for them to negotiate and to talk through the challenges that they have with regards to the tariffs that the United States has put, and also the ones that China has planned to put as well. I think what is to be noted here is that in spite of the policy stances that we are seeing from both China as well as the United States, China has gone a step further to notify the dispute resolution mechanism that exists within the WTO system of basically, trying to get, arbitrary resolution to whatever issues that perhaps the United States is keen for China to address. And so, that, of course, is a plus for the multilateral trading system, because you see an instance where there is a dispute arising and one of the key members involved in that dispute seeking to raise those issues within the existing dispute resolution mechanisms that exist.